Hello. I'm gonna show you how to draw a shaded circle, I think. Yeah. So, so we're basically gonna learn how to shade a circle with a pencil. Materials we'll need is a pencil, but I recommend using mechanical pencil because the tip is kind of like skinny than a regular pencil, so it's more easy to shade and draw. So I'm gonna what I'm saying is that we're gonna yeah, so you can use this. It's like my kind of style of shading, and when you do it lighter, and then the difference between a pencil, here a sec, let me get a good pencil. At least unless your tip is very sharp, but for a pencil it wouldn't really last that long, so I recommend using a mechanical pencil. But it's really just your choice however you want to use. If you don't have a mechanical pencil, it's okay to use a regular pencil, but I recommend using a mechanical pencil. But continuing on, pretty easy to draw a circle, a very good shaded circle. Actually easier than you think. So I'm actually gonna show you one of an apple that I drew today because I like drawing apples. So be right back, give me a sec. So here are the realistic apples. 2 realistic apple actually that I drew. I didn't add the shadow yet. I'm not really finished with this one. But yeah, these are the 2 kind of realistic, not really that realistic, but realistic shaded apple. But this one, I used a coral and a different material to draw this, so it's not gonna come it's not gonna be the same shading skill as we're using in this how-to tutorial. But so we're gonna draw a circle. So drawing a realistic circle is not easy. So we're just gonna draw a lot of circles. Do it very lightly and not hard, because so we can erase it. We're gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Looking at the weird, not circle looking circle, it's kind of like a sketch. We're gonna find a circle in that. So there's a lot of lines, right? And it all looks connected if you look at them and try to find the circle and erase the other lines. So I see a circle like this in those lines, so I'm gonna erase the other lines to make a perfect circle. It's not perfect, but to make a circle that looks like a circle. I haven't drank water for a while, so my voice is dead. So you can try to fix it while erasing the other lines, and then try to make it clean. It doesn't not last. It won't take too long usually, unless you're really trying to make a perfect circle. But don't try to make a perfect circle. Just do the best you can, and then move on. Yeah, okay. So there we did it. Kind of perfect looking, a little bit squished circle. It looks squished. It looks like ice cream. But so we're gonna focus on where the light is gonna look. Okay, so let's get another page. And this is where the sun is gonna. So the place where it's it's how a moon. This is where the sun is. And this is where the earth is. I don't know, but moon usually has a side So the point where sun is like shining, this is a moon. If you look at the moon, the point where the sun is shining doesn't have has light, and it like kind of brighten the moon, but the point where the moon doesn't have the sun is like dark and you can't really see anything. So we're actually basically gonna do the same. So we're gonna make the point where the sun is shining light and the point where the sun is not shining dark. So like it's like a shadow, like that. I think you guys already know what I'm talking about, but I just like needed to go over it. So when I'm doing it, you guys know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm pretty positive that you guys will know, but I just wanted to explain it. So first, we are not going to like do it very hard. Hold our pencils or mechanical pencil very hard, because if you do it, it's gonna be like very dark and it wouldn't be kind of like you want to be able to erase it. So try to do it very lightly. Control your pressure. But pressure is one of the most important part of art, even in like digital art. It's basically saying that the pressure is like very important for the art, and you have to really know how to control it so you can shade very well. Without the shading, the art will look kind of like empty and kind of basic. So try to make lines, light lines, and draw these, draw hearts, draw like a smiley face using like a very light pressure with your hand. Try doing that a lot and you'll actually eventually get it, like, and you'll get used to it. So I do that a lot, so that's why I'm used to it. That's probably the reason my art looks kind of good, but yeah. So moving on to the circle, we're gonna use our normal pressure, like not hard, but a normal, very light pressure, and use it everywhere. Don't do like this part is dark and this part is light yet. So we're just gonna do like a very normal, but we're gonna do line shading today. Well, we're never gonna do this again, but we're gonna do line shading because, and you can even add polka dots, hearts, and add a little holes in your circle, and then shade it, and then make kind of look like it's actually a hole. Or you can do it wool, but wool is kind of hard, so we're not gonna do it. But we're gonna make some like circles, but make the circles pretty like hard, unless you like kind of like, and the circles doesn't have to be perfect, just try your best. That's the only thing that really matters. So you can even do a heart, a star, even only if you know how to draw a star without doing this. Yeah, and draw something not too detailed, just basic shapes. So we're gonna keep doing that until we meet the end. And if you really need to draw a sun, then draw a sun, and you can erase it after. Do it lightly. So this is how much we're gonna do. Don't do it too much. So I know right now it looks kind of wonky and ugly, but we're gonna eventually like make it pretty and like kind of a little bit like realistically shaded, like this. So we're actually gonna shade. So using the shading we did for this one, the line shading, we're gonna make this part dark and keep doing it like this. That's when you're using your pressure. And while you're going up, you're gonna make the thing a little bit like, the more you go up, the lower your pressure gets. yeah, I'm just gonna write lower P. So, yeah, keep doing it. And this is gonna be a very hard P. Hard P. By the way, P stands for pressure. Pressure. Right, I wrote pre, but it's okay. So remember that the point that's touching the ground will be darker because the sun doesn't go through the circle. So basically, the light science, I think we're like for we know how we're like studying light for science right now. It's kind of important in this, so we know where the light is going. So you see that, and when we go to a point where you think the light is gonna go kind of lighter, that's when you change your pressure lower and lower and lower. And if this is too much shading, we're gonna erase it eventually when we're actually pretty done and we know what we're doing. Right now, it doesn't really look that good because we just started. Okay, there we go. So right now we're gonna don't focus on this part, just focus on the dark part, and then we're gonna kind of like shade it. Finally, it looks better when you do the line thing. It looks kind of like you did more work into yours, in my opinion. Yeah. And while coloring it, make sure pressure goes lower and kind of a little bit lighter. But for this part, I totally recommend using a regular pencil because yeah. I totally think that regular pencil is usually good for these type of shading, and like a mechanical pencil is usually good for line, like light line shading. It's usually depends on the style you're going for, what you're shading. But I really like to use mechanical pencil for my art style, as it looks more cleaner and classic and basic, and not too dirty and not too much. Anyway, when we got that part, we're actually gonna blend it so it doesn't look like we just drew random shading. I can't see it from this, so I'm gonna do this a lot to look at my own drawings. I should change the light. Okay, that's much better. I know it's kind of bright, but you can see it much better too. By the way, it doesn't have to look the exact same as mine. Just try your best, and that's only what it matters, usually. Just do it until you're satisfied with yourself. And when you think it's alright and better, you don't really need to compare your drawing to mine, even though it's a how tutorial, and you don't think, yeah. About art is that people usually get frustrated a lot when they think their art is very bad. So don't do that, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna kind of fix the shape if it's kind of wonky, yeah. So now it's really not realistic. It's supposed to be like a sketch type. So because if I do it realistic, the video is gonna be too long, so it's not realistic. But just so you know how to shade, it's this is a tutorial. You know, the tutorial name is how to shade. So like, yeah. Okay, I think we eventually we should get it. Like what to do. I'm gonna use a regular pencil for this one. You don't need to do it, but I'm just gonna use it. Don't pressure yourself. So we got it. We just need to fix the circles. If you didn't put any circles, you can like just do whatever you want with your circle now. But for the people who actually put those little circles, or like hearts or whatever, I'll teach you how to shade them. So this is actually if you actually did put a circle or like some kind of hole in any shape, it's actually very good for practicing. So the circle we drew, the light is here and the darkness is here. Darkness. So there's a hole. Just say the hole. That's that. Someone plugged a hole in the circle, on the circle, or on the ball. And anyway, and there's a hole. There's basically like a wall hole. So when a light is facing this way and the dark is facing this way, the light, since there's a wall, the light wouldn't be able to come through the wall. So that means the dark is going here. Instead of here, the dark is going here. And the light is going here because when the wall usually takes over this much of a space and makes this much shadow, and when it doesn't make the shadow, it usually gets bright because the sun is able to go there and make light and become bright. I hope you know what I'm talking about, though. I'm not really good at explaining stuff. I'm just like a free person. I mean, at least if you listen in science. So since our light is facing this way, we're gonna make the dark here. So for the dark, we're the same thing as how you drew the circle, but it's like flipped. Control your pressure and make like, I'm not really trying my best on this, so I know it looks kind of ugly and weird. Anyway, since the light is going this way, the dark is gonna go this way, so it's better to like kind of put where your dark thing is gonna go, and then we're gonna shade this part kind of dark, and then we're gonna blend it with it so it goes well. And we're actually gonna use this and kind of shade this part because there's no way that it's gonna be like very light with shading. So like, yeah, when you're having, I guess you're having fun. If you I hope you are having fun, because I'm not, because this is my 10th, like, I don't know, like my 13th time drawing a circle like this. It's good for practicing. So I usually practice while drawing this. So right now it looks kind of ugly and not realistic. So we're gonna add some extra shading to make like it kind of, and like save the shape or anything like that. Erase all the extra things that you think you won't need, or maybe you make more light here if you want to make more light. Maybe make it more dark here if you want to make it more dark. And then after we're done, we're gonna go to shadows. But I'm just gonna move on to shadows, and then you can, I think you can do that last. The shadow, I think you will know how to draw a shadow. The shadow will go like this. Do the same thing how we did the circle, but do it lightly and get it darker. A shadow, sorry, I messed up this part. A shadow will become lighter, just how we drew our hole. So a shadow will be like dark here and go lighter. So maybe make it more darker here, and then add shadings. That's how we do it. There we go. We did it. We actually, I hope you actually enjoyed it, but yay. You can add backgrounds if you want. You can add faces to it. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna, like, faces to it. Yeah, you can do whatever you want.